Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Scorpio. So Scorpio, as always, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So, are you ready to let something die in you, Scorpio? We're beginning with your card, the Death card. And this card straight away, it came with this question: are you ready to let something die in you? It feels very powerful and very intense, as is your energy overall. But this feels serious. This feels something that you are committing to, actually. The seriousness part just comes from the fact that you are now serious about this. Now it's not just something that you're thinking about, or you're it's not just another thing on your plate. It's like this is your thing. Now this is the thing that you want to focus on. Because I feel like the part of you that is dying has to do with a troubled mind. Because the Queen of Swords is here, it's like what you seek after this death is that the rebirth of your mental space, of your mental clarity, is one that is very sharp and very focused. So I feel like the thing that you're targeting to let go and to let die, in a sense, to go through this process of transformation, is something in your mind. It's like letting some sort of the way that it's coming through is like dark thought. Let it die. Let this dark thought die. Because I feel like the change overall that you perceive, that you will feel, or that you will know in your mind, that you will have this clear sensation, this clear perception in your mind. Having this Seven of Wands later, what this was talking about, Scorpio, is that right now your mind seems to be very convoluted. That's what I heard. Convoluted mind. Because what you want, after all, is to have clarity, is to have, perhaps a peace of mind. But most of all, the sensation that I'm picking up with this Queen of Swords is like, you want to have clarity, you want to have direction, you want to have perhaps more focus. And I feel like this is what you're doing. It's like you're targeting something, because right now it's kind of a mess. The way that I'm seeing the Seven of Wands, when we're talking to somebody on the phone and we're just doodling, freely on a paper. There is no right or wrong. It's almost like, we're doing, just sketching freely. There is no goal with the sketch. But after the phone is over, it's like, when you look at the paper, it's like all of these lines are crossing, and perhaps you do it differently. Perhaps you do a lot of circles, or you do a lot of lines, whatever it is. But right now, the image that I'm having, it's like the mind that, the mental space that you're in right now might be one of this, just a lot of things, and a lot of things just scrambled like this, like nothing. If you were to see this drawing after, the phone is over, it's like you would see this as an abstract drawing or something, because it has no beginning and no end. It is very convoluted, you see? So this is how I'm seeing that your mind is right now. And this is the process of transforming your mind from a convoluted mind to a clear one, a sharp one, a focused one. With the Ace of Wands, you see here how it's like this ace here is here in the middle, but because there is so much around it, or so much going on that is related or connected or in the vicinity of this one thing, that you don't know how to distinguish. It's like it's too much. Perhaps it's too overwhelming. And your mind for it to have clarity and direction, it needs to be cleared. That's the reason why I feel like this death here, it's like your power amping up to the point that you are now going to commit to this clearing, to this cleansing. You know, sometimes I see, because this symbol of the wands to me usually brings the image of a tree. Here with the Seven of Wands, it's like being in such a dense forest. I often say this about the Seven and the Eight of Wands. But here, because of the circular shape of the Seven, it's almost like it goes in circles. It's like going round and round and round and never reaching like this point to begin. You know, sometimes also the aces bring new beginnings. Well, traditionally it brings new beginnings, but to me it always brings different things. But right now it's also wanting to emphasize the fact that this is going to bring you this, well, perhaps an inspired new beginning, but one that brings you first and foremost clarity of mind. This direction that is going to bring this inspired new beginning, it's like it's obtained in a sense once you commit to this clearing, to letting the excessive thoughts or the dark thoughts that are around this. And it's interesting because now I'm seeing the Seven of Wands, because what I was saying, what I was seeing of the Ace of Wands, it's like this light in the dark. And, you know, before I was talking about what is dying is like those dark thoughts. And so what I'm seeing here, it's like all of these dark thoughts that are surrounding this light and almost covering it. You couldn't see the light because of all of the darkness that was surrounding you. So it's like being in a dense, thick forest where the sun doesn't penetrate and you cannot see the light in a sense. So it's almost like this change, this transformation brings you clarity and direction because you are committing to letting the darkness be removed. So it's interesting because here is also bringing me this image of being lifted. It's not like you're going to come to a clear part of the forest. It's almost like you're being lifted because you can see now the trees for the forest and not the forest for the trees. It's, or however that saying goes. So here you're convoluted, your mind is convoluted. Here there's clarity, there's direction, there is inspiration, there's focus. So it's interesting because it's talking about plural and single, plural and singular. So perhaps it's talking about being single to somebody, but I'm not seeing that at all. It's all about you, right? So perhaps we're talking about, you know, the dark thoughts being the thoughts attached to anything, really, any kind of situation that was convoluting your mind and taking space and not allowing you to see the light. So, but when you commit to this, because this is the message of this card coming next, the Four of Pentacles. So this card often talks to me about foundation, stable foundation. So I feel like the stable foundation that you find is with the commitment to yourself. It's like the decision that you're making right now to clear your path, to clear this direction, to clear your mind, is one that you are choosing to focus. So it's like if you have been running in circles and getting nowhere because you couldn't see the light, because you were in the midst of all of these dark thoughts, then allowing them to go, it's like you're rising above this forest so that you can see this one tree, this one flame, this one light. It's like seeing the light that is going to guide you, but committing to it, sticking to it. It's something that is going to help ground you because, you know, this sense of having a stable foundation helps you to ground, but helps you to ground in terms of not allow, it's like drawing the lines, not allowing the dark thoughts to come back and, you know, pollute this Ace of Wands, this inspiration that now you're finding to give you this direction that you were seeking, to give you this clarity that you are seeking. So it's like here you're establishing this foundation that in a sense protects this tree. So it's almost like this. Here you are in the middle of this thick forest and you don't see anything because it's too dark, it's too dense. But here, once you single out this one tree and you lift above the forest, it's like you want to protect this inspiration. So it's like you're safeguarding, you're creating this line of protection around this one tree or around this one. It's like keeping the flame alive. It's like you need to feed this fire, you need to feed this inspiration. But without, so, you know, letting these other thoughts, these other, it's like it's coming through as like ramifications, but dark ramifications. I don't know exactly what that means, but you know, when something starts one way, so I'm going to give it an example that is coming to my mind. So it's like you have a big inspiration, like a big vision of what you could do, what you could be, and then you're very excited about that. But then comes doubt and self-doubt and questioning if you're capable, if you're going to be able to do this, if it's appropriate, if you're ready to do. So all of the ramifications that come after it. So perhaps we are talking about, you know, dark thoughts that are fear, that are just embedded in a lower vibration, that it's just, it covers the light, it covers the inspiration. Perhaps it, yeah, it blocks the thing that was guiding you. It gives you, you know, just this convoluted state of mind, right? But this is what is dying. This is what you're letting go. And so here, it seems like you are sticking to it. So perhaps you have tried this before, but maybe you were stuck in a loop. Maybe you couldn't manage to make this a long-term thing, or make this, it's not coming through as goal. It's coming through as an exercise. Perhaps it's like a daily exercise that you have to keep pruning it, that you have to keep tending to it, that you need to keep grounding yourself. And I feel like that gives a lot of liberation. With the Four of Swords coming after, this Four of Swords today talks about giving you serenity and the peace of mind that you are seeking, but it also brings the fact that being grounded, it's not the same thing as being fixed or being stuck in one place. What this is saying is that this structure, perhaps we're talking about just the way that you have figured out to keep this flame alive, to keep feeding this tree so it grows and grows and grows, instead of, you know, being covered by other trees or by other dark thoughts. It's like, let this inspiring thought grow inside of you, but doing so in a very committed way, in a very it's like it's a very diligent type of action or decision or way of keeping this alive. It's like you're committed to this, right? It's like you are determined to keep this fire alive, to not allow the other dark thoughts that once were there to come back. It's like they're gone once and for all, but you need to keep on feeding this light so that it grows and grows and grows. So what it's saying is that once you have figured out a way to keep this stable, to keep yourself grounded, you can, it's like you can lift, you can rise even higher, because here are fixed, it's like these planted pillars or foundations, they are stuck to the ground. But with the Four of Swords, it's almost like, you know, I often well, I often think about this movie because it really touched me. It's a Pixar movie called Up. And, you know, what I'm seeing here is the same thing that happens in the beginning of the movie, where this guy, he lived his entire life in the same house. But then the neighborhood developed, and all of these tall, huge skyscrapers just took over the entire neighborhood. Even, like, you know, the terrain next to his, the land next to his. So he is, in a sense, forced to sell his land, but he didn't want to give up his home, his it's like his ground, right? His stability, the thing that gave him the sense of groundedness. So, you know, he finds this kid who is just, you know, very cute, but also very very childlike, right? And he's like this grumpy old man. But so he lifts his house out of the ground. It's like the foundations are still with him. The grounds, the walls, all of his known territory is going with him, is lifting, is now floating up in the sky. And this is exactly what I'm sensing here for you, Scorpio. You found maybe a way that is like sticking with you, that you're so committed to, that is it's like it's keeping you alive in a sense, but it's helping you to feel more tranquil and lift above the thick, dense forest. So it's almost like, you know, it's like you're rising above the lower, denser plane and going to one that is a lot higher, a lot more uplifted, a lot more tranquil. It's like this is the peace of mind that now you're going to settle into, because you know that you can go there. It's like this safe spot. It's like maybe it's just drawing the lines. It's really setting your boundaries to your mental health. And I feel like this is even more highlighted here with the last card because it's the Nine of Swords. So I feel like what this is saying, you see here how we have the 8 swords on the sides and then this 1 sword in the center. The sensation that I was having from this, it's like the way that I was seeing here, you rising from this thick forest to have a lot more clarity to see the forest from above. It's the same thing that I'm seeing here. It's like the death of the dark thoughts, it's not going to be something that just evaporates, but it's something that you're going to go through. So it's like, it's almost like because you're so grounded in perhaps, you know, a meditation technique or a breathing technique or an earthing technique, however you feel like it grounds you the most, and it gives you the inspiration to keep on going, to keep on doing this thing, you will feel better because you're going to have this one thought that is going to be serving as the guiding light through all of the dense dark thoughts. You see? So here it's not like, you know, they're going to evaporate, as I said, but you're going to go through them, but in a way that they're not going to keep you stuck. They're not going to trap you in a sense. It's like you're going to go through this death and rebirth process. It's like it's one and the same. It's like being in a tunnel, but you know that you're seeing already the guiding light, because before it's like you couldn't see anything. It was all dark. But the moment that you receive this light, it's like you find this one inspiration. It's like it grows and grows and grows, and the more it grows, the more stable you feel, and the more stable you feel, the more committed you are to keep this as now your solid foundation that you can take wherever you like, wherever you want, wherever you need to navigate through tricky situations, through moments where self-doubt is so near that it could touch you, but it's like you're expanding your light, so you're passing through the dark thoughts or through the dark forest, but holding this sense of groundedness, the sense of trust in yourself, the sense of trust in this one thought, this one inspiration that is just keeping you going forward, right? So it seems like you do find your clarity of mind, because it's something that you learn how to make a habit of it, or, you know, it's like it's serving as the new pillars, the new foundation of who you are, or who you want to keep on being, or who you want to, it's like you want to know the truth of your being somehow. But it's like you only know that once you commit to that every single day, every single step of the way, and you feed that daily. You feed that single inspiration all the way, every single moment. That's how you find this clarity, in a sense. It's like the clarity that you need to keep on moving to find this direction, but also to it's like to know who you are. You see, it's like the clarity of who you are and where you're going, because this is who you are, and the Nine of Swords is, the Nine of Swords is where you're going. So when you know who you are, it's easier to navigate through tricky, challenging situations, or old, dark, repetitive thoughts that were keeping you in this loop, that now it's like you're making your way through them, right? So Scorpio, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.